Why do you even keep bees? You know bees sting. Why don't you do it the way Bob Benny does it? You know, you could do cattle, that's cheaper. You know they sting, right? Oh, hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Ben. And yes, my head is shaved, and no, I'm not part of the Aryan Brotherhood. Today we're gonna do an experiment. I have peppermint candies that I bought from the gas station, so it's high quality. I've been having a problem with Small Hive Beetles. I went to college. SHB, Small Hive Beetles, and they're a real pain in the rear end. And I've been having trouble getting rid of them. I've done the beetle jails. I think in my last video I put one of those long, elongated, they don't call them beetle jail, I don't know, beetle prison, where they're supposed to go in, apple cider and blah, blah. The first one I put in, they had propolised all the way. So we're gonna try something different. I've seen a lot of people use peppermint candies, and we're gonna see what happens. But I'm also gonna try, I've heard people talk about peppermint oil, so I've got a Swanson brand aromatherapy certified organic peppermint oil. So it's just one of the ones that, you know, you would put in the, I don't know, you know, I see people doing this to help it focus. I don't actually know if that helps. I'm just muscle memory. So I'm gonna try a few of these also. So I'm gonna do one hive as a control with the peppermint candies. I'm gonna try them open. I know the bees will eat them, but I want the smell to be in there. Then I have a couple of Q-tips. I don't have any cotton swabs. So we're gonna dab a few of these, put them in each corner, and we're gonna see what happens. And then I also have, I'm pretty excited about this one, a mystery concoction right here in this Boardman feeder jar. Wow, there's a lot of mosquitoes out here. Let's put on the hood. That's better. You can't see the shaved head. Anyways, so I'm pretty excited. Like I said in my last video, when I was talking about the bees and bemoaning and blah, blah, blah. Well, I did list the bees. Golly, I can't speak the king's English. I listed the bees. Nobody's wanted them, so they're still here. And of course, we have the Caucasians and the, that's nice and bent. And blah, 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 blah. So what we're going to do is I think I'm going to, so this mystery concoction is going to go on, probably on my triple deep. We're going to see if the bees will take it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, like I said, but it's getting close to the fall flow, which means they're going to be bringing in a fresh nectar, making honey. And I want to try to add something in there. This is an additive that is not used in beekeeping, or at least I've never seen it used in beekeeping. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a flavor profile in the honey without having to add it later, without a secondary infusion, you might say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it to the bees, and I'm going to see if they'll take it in and infuse it with the honey. Now, I don't know the moisture content of this thing off the top of my head. It's pretty thick. My guess would be that it's probably, that's pretty liquidy and viscous. Probably 25%. I will tell you that it is a concentrated form of whatever it is. I know, it's so exciting, but I'm going to keep it to myself, because if it works, well, I'm going to keep it to myself because it'll be proprietary and I'll use it later. And if it doesn't work, I'll keep it to myself and I'll pretend I never did it. So, ah! Whoa, that's wow, that's slimy. This is my wife's peppermint oil. I borrowed it, / stole it, / whatever, we're married. What's mine is mine, what's hers is mine, blah, blah, blah. You know how it says. So we're just going to do a little bit. I don't want to overwhelm them. So we're just going to do a little bit. Let's go ahead and hit both sides of the Q-tip. We'll just do it like that. Not too much. So I'm going to do, like I said, a little dab will do you here. Not too much. You know, we'll just pour it out on the truck bed. This stuff doesn't want to come out. And we'll just kind of swab it. Because I also don't want to stink out the bees. Now, I've heard people talk about doing lemongrass and throwing lemongrass and things and whatnot. And in terms of like baiting swarm traps and whatnot, you know, they say lemongrass, you'll see some people put it in, or they'll use Swarm Commander or something like that. But then if you do too strong of a smell, I'm afraid that it could scare the bees off or drive them off or disrupt their natural behavior. So let's see what happens. So I think we're going to do, I got 6 unwrapped ones here. We're going to do those in the triple deep, and then we'll do the peppermint oil Q-tips in the double deep next to it and see how it goes. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. See what happens. You can see me in the long shot. So here's the 6 candies. I'm gonna do one in each corner and 2 in the middles. I'm not gonna smoke them. That might be a mistake, but I'm just kind of curious to get in here and see what they look like. We're gonna try them without the smoke. We're gonna pretend we're an all-natural beekeeper. Okay. Ooh, that didn't want to get off. Hello. Hi. And as you can see, not too many beetles, a few. Right there's one, obviously, there's one. There'll be more when we get in the lid, of course. Don't sting me, bro. Don't sting me. Ooh, yeah. Look at all those beetles, dude. So many beetles right there. See, they're all along the top here. The bees are working these frames really good. That's good. And there's our old jail. We'll pop that out and see if there's anything in there. Oh, yeah. I always do that. I always drop the inner cover. There's so many beetles. I just slapped a bunch off. I don't know if that was wise. Let's pull the beetle jail out and see what it looks like. There's a beetle on the camera. Ooh, boom, baby. Not a baby bee, but whatever. Okay, let's pull this out. This is a Better Beetle Blaster, by the way, in case you were wondering. And, okay, that's worthless. It could be my concoction. But here comes the peppermint candy. So I'll tell you, let's put a candy right next to a big pile of beetles. And let's just see their immediate reaction. So I got peppermint here. There's beetles. Let's put it right next to them. Okay, I'm not seeing any panic in the beetles' faces yet. Oh, well, that one's kind of moving away. Yeah, they're kind of hugged against the outsides of the frames here. So, what we're going to do is insert. We're going to do one in each corner. One in each corner. So we're going to do the 3. Kind of hard with no smoking gloves on. These peppermints are sticky. Okay, so we got 6 peppermints, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6. We've got them right next to the beetles. Yeah, I hear great things about them. We'll put the lids on. They may not like them. I'll tell you what, now that these are sitting right here, let me just try something. Let me get one of the Q-tips that's rolled in peppermint oil. And let's see what the immediate reaction is to peppermint. This one is, so I got a Q-tip here. I don't know if this is gonna do anything, but it's just kind of curious. So, here is a good, maybe you can see there's beetles right here. Put the peppermint oil right next to them. Wow, interesting. Does not seem that they like it. Now, it could just be because I'm touching them with it. I don't know, man. They don't seem to like it. Interesting. Huh. Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't really expecting that reaction. Let's try this. Let's do something different, okay? Try from this side. Try to keep you guys along with me here. So this is my Q-tip. Here's the beetles. I don't know if you guys can see that movement. Huh, good. They do not like the Q-tip. I tell you what, we're gonna put the lid back on, the inner cover. I'm a little more jazzed about that now. And we're gonna come back in a few days with the peppermint candies and kind of see where we're at with those. But the initial look is pretty exciting, actually. Huh. I'm kind of excited. It's a little exciting right there. Okay, so side note, gotta push the peppermints in because it's leaving a gap here. Obviously, I didn't think about that. But one thing I noticed immediately is that the bees seem to like the peppermint candies. Obviously, it's sugar-based, so that makes sense. So I'll move the candies away from the edges. Okay, and then the inner cover seats pretty good. So we've got 6 on there, so that's going to be a good experiment. So I like that. We're also going to do something a little different with this one. This hive, we're going to do the mystery concoction on the front. So I've got it right here. They've got a Boardman on them, a big one. I think it's a quart jar, possibly bigger. But this is a really decent sized hive. As you guys can see, there's a bunch on the outside crawling. They've been doing really good. Let's go ahead and just remove this big one. A couple bees on it, good jar, needs to be cleaned. By the way, it's dirty because I haven't cleaned it in a while because I haven't been feeding them because the flow's coming. Let's get some of the, to see if some of this will come off. Mystery liquid right there. Do they like it? There's one stuck there. Are they gonna eat it? We'll find out. So, upside down feeder, there it is, got the Boardman, experimental hive. And it's probably 5-6 full. We'll come back and check tomorrow. Okay, let's move on to the next hive. And we're going to do the Q-tips with the peppermint. Now, I might dab them a little bit. Might give them a little bit more because of how well it worked on the first one. So let me go hit those again. Yeah, we back, baby. So I got 4 Q-tips that I've dabbed both sides. The reason it's black is because I did it on the bed of my truck and it's dirty. But, oh, boy, I can smell it. That smells like peppermint candy. So we're gonna do one in each corner of this hive. Curious, I hadn't been in here in probably 2 weeks. This is probably a bad thing. Holy mackerel. Okay, so this one's ready for another box. Very obviously. Goodness sakes. I'm trying to be more holistic, seeing as I have natural oils here. Interesting. They propolyzed it. This is very much, I can see the beetles. I think it's gonna be pretty much the same. Yep. There they come. Look at all them beetles. Okay, so let's try to do the experiment real quick. Here's a whole bunch of beetles. Ah, come on, baby. Here's peppermint oil. Oh. Ooh, they do not like peppermint oil. Huh. Man, the reaction is immediate. Okay, let's go over to this corner. So you can see they're corralling the beetles. Peppermint oil. Dude. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm hopeful because they hate that smell. Daggum, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're gonna leave the Q-tips. Yeah. Let's put them. Thank you for honking. Let's put them this way so that the peppermint kind of goes across so they can smell it. And in this corner, and in this corner. I mean, that mountain of beetles that they had in the corner is already gone. They might just be running down the hive, so I might have to, we'll check next time we come. Let's see, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tell you what we'll do next time is after we check this, we'll probably check this week in a few days. I'll see if the peppermint candies have been eaten, and if those work, I'll probably use that. If not, we will check in on the peppermint Q-tips and see how they are doing. And if that's working well and keeps working, we'll do that. And I'm also going to check the bottom of the box, and we'll see if they're in the brood nest. So obviously you can see this is a double deep. So I don't want the beetles just to run down. I want them to leave the hive, which is obviously the intent. Well, I don't see them fleeing yet, but I'm going to put the lid back on, which will keep the stink in there, or the smell. I see a couple of hive beetles out there, actually. They might be making a run for it. We'll see. This is going to be good. Look at all these beetles. So, I think I'm a good candidate to have a control group. I tell you, we're gonna check these next few hives just to see how they're doing, see if there's any beetles. You, the skeleton of a remain. That dude's all skin and bone. Smaller hive, but a decent hive. Not nearly as many beetles, but some. Tell you what, this one we're gonna put some in here. As you can see, we have beetles. Obviously, as it's getting bigger, they're being corralled to the top of the hive. We're gonna throw 3 on here, just in the front. So actually, I changed my mind. We're gonna do 6, but we're gonna leave them in the wrappers. I don't know if this makes a difference. I'm not that worried about it because I know it's plastic, but obviously with any foreign contaminant, if the bees don't like it, they will get rid of it. So we're gonna do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they're gonna be in the plastic. So we have unplasticed ones, peppermint oil, plastic covered ones. You know, the bees kind of seem indifferent at first. Obviously there's plastics, they're checking it out. And we will see. And we're gonna check the last hive here in a second, and that'll be our control. You're crawling up on my leg, I can feel you down there. This is our most docile hive. Checking at the front, boom. Killed a hive beetle. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, definitely our smallest. There's barely anybody at the top so far, which is fine. Oh, there's a few. Okay. Oh, never mind. Well, daggum. Ooh, oh, I made a man. Open it too quick. Okay, we're gonna close that. My bad. Okay, made a mistake on that one. So in conclusion, by next week, we will have a conclusion. And I'm curious to see how, found my J-hook, how these girls react to the mystery substance. Like I said, it's not something that I've ever seen anybody use. It's from a totally different industry, but I have someone that I know, and we were talking today, and I said, you know, do you have any extra of this thing? Because it's sweet, it's sugary. You use this in your products. I know I'm being vague. And oh, there's a fly right there. I'm trying to pretend he's part of the fold. You see him? He's on the sweet thing. Huh, interesting. And I said, you know, if I could get my bees to try that and eat it and infuse it, it might be an interesting flavor. And I might be way off. I might be way close. I don't know. It's going to be something totally different. We'll see. But look, you know, let's pop it and see if they're eating. Are they even touching it? I'd say now I'm curious. It seems like they're smelling it. Okay. They seem to be taking a liking to it. Excuse me. Beep, beep. Okay. Well, we'll see. Got the 4 hives here, still here. Nobody bought them, so they're going to stay here. And we'll see. And as I was saying, I was bemoaning, and I know I've been using that word a lot because it sounds big, it sounds smart. I don't know if it's a word, but I really hope it is because it just sounds cool. Bemoaning. Bemoaning. Like bee, being, moaning, crying, whining, a state of grief, perhaps. So I bemoaning. Man, it's a terrible dad joke. You know, still not where I want to be in terms of the business. It's a nice upshot. That's nice. Good thing you shave your head. That helps you look thinner. But as I mentioned in my last video, we will see. We're getting close to the sale of the old house. We're at the new house, obviously. And we're going through some struggles, as everybody does. And it's been frustrating and upsetting. And we're here with the bees, which is good. And we're getting to the point where we might be at a slight resolution to the old house, to the property, to the sale. It's not anywhere close to what I had hoped for, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm trying to stay vague. I'm not trying to give too many details. And I don't want to sound like I'm whining, but like I said, I want people to experience what I'm going through because I'm not the only one doing it. Just be aware that maybe some tips. Let me give some tips, what I've learned from this. If you're going to be involved in the sale of something, Okay, bees, come on. I'm trying to do an outro here. If you're going to be involved in the sale of something, and it's family, friends, acquaintances, professionals, people you don't know, it doesn't matter. Get everything in writing. Get it in writing. Get it in writing and be clear on your terms. Because the mistake I made, have mercy. The crows are spazzing back there on my property. Whoa. They're going to war with somebody. Be clear on your terms and make sure the other side is clear on their terms as well. Get everything in writing. But you go, no, this is my Uncle Fred or my Aunt Beth. It doesn't matter. Get it in writing. Get it in writing and make sure when you get it in writing that you are clear on your terms and that they are clear on their terms as well. Make sure that there's no inconsistencies, there's no misunderstandings, that everybody knows exactly where everybody stands. And this is what I'm talking about. If you're going into business, be business, any business, it's really irrelevant. If you're going into it and you have people that are family, friends, acquaintances, business partners, make sure both of you sit down and put it on paper what you both think, feel, desire. Because that will save you so much time and suffering and pain and annoyance and everything else in between. Just make sure you do that. For me, I mean, I know we've gotten to know each other. You know, I've been doing this for probably 2 months now. I've got like 10 videos and a couple of shorts. So we're pretty much family at this point. Just make sure you do that. Be clear, get it in writing, be specific. Don't leave any stone unturned. And it will save you a mountain. A mountain. A mountain. Save you a lot of frustration. All right, dudes, thanks for stopping by. We will check the experiment in a few days. I might come out tomorrow just to peek in them. It might be cheating. I don't know. I kind of want to give it a few days to see how it goes. I want to see if they propolize the Q-tips, and I want to see if they eat the peppermint candy, and then I want to see on the one where I left the peppermint in the plastic, if they will propolize that down and see if it's better to leave it in the candy because then they won't be able to eat it as quickly. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be interesting. But the main idea, of course, is to get rid of... I'm trying to film Small Hive Beetles. Catch you in the next one. Take care.